Today we'll discuss clocked latches, clocked latch, that is called flip-flop in digital circuits, sequential circuits. So till now we were discussing latch without clock. So in that the response of the latch was not controlled by the clock inputs. So whenever the inputs were changing, the outputs were responding. Now the operation will be controlled by clock or gate or enable input. So that is called the flip-flop. So flip-flop is nothing but your latch with clock. So before that, let us understand what is a clock. In digital circuits or in our real life also, we are controlling each and every event by clock, like your timetable in your like the timetable in our our day-to-day teaching in classroom. So everything is controlled by clock. Right now your digital systems lecture is going on, and then after another subject lecture will be there. So the events are controlled by clock. So in digital circuits also, all the events are controlled by, in sequential circuits, all the events are controlled by clock signal. So this is the clock signal. If the value of the signal does not change for a particular duration of time, then that is called the level of the clock. Level of the clock is when there is no change in value. So that is called the level. If the value is positive, then it is positive level. If the value is negative, then it is called the negative level. See here, it is not changing with time, so it is level of the clock. So that is negative level. If we say the transition between negative to positive levels, there is transition between positive to negative level and negative to positive. So if it is from negative to positive, this is called positive age. Positive age, if it is from positive to negative, then it is negative age. So we will be discussing the operation of the flip-flop based on positive and negative levels and the ages. So today we will be discussing the JK flip-flop and T flip-flop. So my JK flip-flop, let us discuss NAND based. So this is the basic SR latch. This is basic SR latch. Here is the output Q and Q bar. So here is inputs S1 and R1. So this is basic SR latch. This is the output. Now if we control the operation of this latch using a gate or clock stage, then it will be like this. One more NAND gate will be introduced. So here is the clock input to control the operation. This is J input and this is K input. So this stage is called the triggering stage. This is called the triggering stage. And J and K, this part along with the clock are the inputs. These are the inputs. These are the inputs. So we'll be discussing relative to clock now. So now we are having okay, let us discuss the characteristic table or the operation table. We are having three inputs. One is clock, J and K. let us see here, clock is active high. Active high means whenever it is 1, it will respond to the inputs, and if it is 0, the flip flop will not respond to the inputs. We'll be discussing each and every combination. See here, the clock input is not active, it is 0. The clock is inactive. Clock is inactive. When it is 0, it is inactive. So at that time, the flip flop will not see the combinations of the input. It will just give whatever the previous value of the output was there. So it will hold the value. So the next state will be same as the present state. It will be independent of the inputs J and K. So this operation is called the hold operation or memory operation. Hold or memory operation. Now see the below combination, 4 combinations in which clock is active. See, the clock is active, it is 1. So clock is active. Now the flip flop will respond to the input combinations. Here the input combination is, let us consider first 1 1. So J is 1, K is 1. J is given at set input of the flip flop and K is given at reset input of the flip flop. So right now J is 0, K is 0. So both are inactive. When both are inactive, the flip flop will not change and the output will be same as the previous one, Q at N. So this will be same as the previous value. So again it is called the memory operation. Now when K is 1, that means reset input J is active and J is not active. So at that time it will reset the output. So the operation will be reset operation and the output will be 0. Similarly here J input is 1, that means it is active. K is 0, it is inactive. So it will set the output. So set means it will be 1 and the name of the operation is set operation. Now when both J and K both are 1, so clock is active, J is active and K is active. So at that time let us see what will happen. So we will be discussing this 1 1 condition of flip flop, JK flip flop. So right now in case of SR flip flop, this 1 1 combination should be avoided. The 1 1 combination should be avoided. So to avoid this in JK, feedback is used. Feedback is used and that will be like this. Feedback is used to avoid the invalid state of SR or making it a toggling state in case of JK. So this kind of feedback is introduced to make 1 1 combination of JK as toggling state. So now let us discuss how it will be converted to a toggling state. So now we'll be discussing 1 1. J is 1, K is 1. Both the inputs are 1 1 and clock is active. So in case of NAND gate, NAND gate, okay, so let us so right now my J and K both are 1 1 and the clock is also 1. So here I have used 1 1 1. So now to start the operation, let us assume that initial value of Q is 1 and Q bar is 0. This is just for starting purpose. So I have assumed that Q is 1 and Q bar is 0. So this 1 will be available at the input of gate D. So for the gate D, all the three inputs are 1. So its output will be 0. So now my R1 is 0 and S1. What is about S1? So Q bar is available over here, which is 0. So for gate C, the output will be 1. So for this basic SR latch, which is NAND based SR, for this latch the combination is S1 is 1 and R1 is 0. Now if you remember, this NAND based latch is active low. Active low means whatever input is low, that will control the output. So right now the combination is S1 is 1 and R1 is 0. So let us refer to the operation table of basic SR latch, which is NAND based. So right now, as per the combination above, S1 is 1 and R1 is 0. That means R1 is active. So reset input is active because this is active low. So R1 is active. R1 is active. So the reset input is active and it will lead the output to be reset. So the output of the latch will be 0. So now the next state of the output will be 0. So instead of this 1, now it will be 0. That 0 will be available over here at the input of gate D. So for the gate D, now the combination is 110. So for 110, the output of that gate will be 1. So now my R1 is 1. Now let us see what is about at S1. So for S1, this Q bar will be 1. So 1 1 1. All the three inputs for C in gate are 1. So the output of that gate will be 0. So now my S1 will be 0. So for this basic latch, we are discussing this part now. For this basic latch, see, this is basic latch. So for this basic latch, now the combination will be S1 is 0 and R1 is 1. That means my S1 is active. And R1 is inactive. So now if we refer the operation table of the NAND based SR, it will be, now we are at S1 is 0 and R1 is 1. So now we are discussing this combination. So this will create S1 as active and R1 is inactive, and so the output will be set. So it will be 1 now. So now this will be 1 and Q bar will be 0. So now that one will be available over here for the D gate. So for D gate again the output will be now that one, okay, 1. So 1 1 1, all the ones are there. So the output of D gate will be 0 now. So my R1 is 0, and similarly for C gate, S1 will be 1. So now my S1 will be 1. So again, if we refer the operation table of this basic NAND based SR latch, then the combination is R1 is 0 and S1 is 1. So R1 is 0 and S1 is 1, this combination. So now we are discussing this. So for that, it will reset the output. So now the output will be 0. So what happened? If I assumed Q as 1, then after it became 0. Again it became 1, it became 0 again. So this is called toggling. It keeps changing the state, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0 again. So that state is called the toggling state. So if we that operation is called the toggling. So my next state of Q will be Q bar, and whatever the present state is there, its complement will be the next state. So this is how we can understand JK flip-flop. Now let us try to draw the waveforms of JK. So this was regarding the operation characteristic table, the circuit operation, and now let us see the waveforms. The waveforms are also called the timing diagrams. So this is my reference axis. Let us draw the clock. So initially let the clock be 0, then after it changes like this, 1 0 1 0. This is time. So this waveform is this signal is for the clock. Now let us assume that my initial value of Q, we are going to plot the let J equals to 1, K equals to, let me take J equals to 1 and K equals to 1. So for J, the waveform will be this. This is T and the value is 1 continuously. Again for K, it is 1. So this is timing T. Now let us plot Q at n plus 1 is the output. Now let us plot the output Q. So now how Q will change? See, if I take the projections, during this part it will be 0. The Q will be 0. Now the clock is active. Now the clock is active and J and K both are at 1 1. So it will be toggling state, right, as per the characteristic table of the JK flip-flop. If J is 1, K is 1 and clock is also 1, then it will be the toggling state. So the output Q will be toggling. So for some time it will be 1, from 0 to it will be, from 0 it will be 1, then after it will be 0 again 1 0 1 0 like this. So it will be changing, keep changing its states. Again when the clock is 0, J and K both are 1 1, but the clock is 0, that means the flip-flop will not be enabled and it will not respond to the combination of the input. So the output will be 0. So the output will be 0. Now for this time it will be 0. But you can say also it can be considered as hold state. See here previously it was 0, that is why it is holding like this. So now if we consider the net active clock level, so this is level, this is positive level of the clock. So if we consider this positive part, then clock is 1, J is 1, K is also 1. So 1 1 1, then it will be toggling state, and this will be like this. Again same pattern will be repeated. So this uncontrolled toggling or uncontrolled changes in from 1 to 0, 0 to 1 is called the racing condition in JK flip flop. That is called the racing or rest condition in JK flip flop. So it should be avoided. So what can be done for the solution of this racing is the racing is because of the time relation between clock period, that means on clock on time, and the propagation delay of the flip flop. So what is propagation delay? If we consider the propagation of signal from gate, let it be like this. So if I apply one signal over here x, and it travels to this gate and reaches the output, then some time is required in that. If we travel from our home to college, then we require some time to reach the college. Similarly, signal requires some time to travel through the gate. So as the number of stages of the gates increases, if the number of stages increases, it will increase the time to reach the output. So solution of this racing condition is relative relation between the clock period and the propagation delay. So in this clock, this is called the on time of the clock. This part is on time when the clock is on. So if I want to avoid this racing condition in JK flip flop, the solution is the solution of racing. Right now we are considering the racing condition. So solution of that racing is the clock's on time let it be TP, let it be pulse on time TP. So that TP should be less than the propagation delay time of the flip flop. Propagation delay time of flip flop. So the clock on time should be less. जब तक क्लॉक है कंटिन्यूसली 1 रहेगा तब तक तो टॉगलिंग होता रहेगा. So if we make this clock on time very less, then this toggling should be toggling will be avoided. So the propagation delay time of the flip flop should be high as compared to the clock on time. It means that the high frequency clock should be used. That means high frequency clock should be used. To avoid racing condition. That means continuous uncontrolled toggling. Uncontrolled toggling is racing. It generates racing. If we can control, it is toggling, and that is desirable. Toggling is also used in our counters and all that. So this was regarding the toggling, racing and the solution. Again, one more solution is there. If we use age triggered flip flop, age triggered, we have learnt this. What is the age of the clock? Where is the age, right? So right now racing happens because of this level. Level triggered flip flop. In level triggered flip flop, whenever the clock is active, the in reval trigger JK, whenever the clock is active, the output will be continuously changing its state from 1 to 0. But if we don't use the level triggering, then whenever the clock's active age is there, only that time the flip-flop will respond, otherwise it will not respond. So the solution is use either positive age triggered or negative age triggered flip-flop. So solution of racing is, once again, clock's on time should be very less as compared to the flip-flop's propagation delay time, or you can say high frequency, very high frequency clocks should be used. And the third one is the age triggered flip-flop, or you can also use master slave flip-flop, in which two stages of flip-flops are used. One is the master flip-flop and the other is slave flip-flop. When master is on, slave is off, like that. It will be acting like that. So to avoid the racing, the solution is make the flip-flop toggle only once in the clock period. The solution is make the flip-flop toggle only once in the clock per. So if we make toggling only once in a clock cycle or in clock period. So that is the solution of racing. So this is the end of JK flip-flop.